All right, guys, welcome back to Spud Run Golf number 2 tee box. Big time project. Now we're into September now, so it's critical to get this job done so we can get some seed down, because it's a great time to plant seed. Let's get going. Let's start with the cliff notes. We've got our cart path here. This is like what we say the blue tees. So from back here, this pad here is about 14 by 20. It's going to play around 200 yards, 205 yards. Then up ahead, we have our 186 yard tee box. That's been the original. Number 2 is our number 1 handicap, and mostly because of this red oak to your top right. In the history of number 2, there's only ever been 2 recorded birdies. Isn't that crazy? Just 186 yard par 3, and we get tons of traffic, tons of rounds. Now as we're back down to the number 2 tee box, the original number 2 tee box, this was kind of built out. It's very unlevel. You can see how unlevel it is right here. Now you can also see the shape number 2 tee box is in. It's pitiful. I have no water source over here, and being dry like it's been this summer, I bring the water truck up here. I try to get 1 to 2 inches of water on it per week. It's hard to do. It's hard to keep this grass in good shape. And an iron shot base tee box obviously takes more of a beating. So part of this overall plan is to get irrigation over here also. We're wanting to pull this out a little farther so you could take a stance clear over to maybe here to take more of a straight shot at the pin, at the green. We're going to have to get some big stones, build a wall around here and curve it in, hug this bank here, right up here, take out a little brush. So elevation difference here we have from the, let's call it the white tee, the original white tee to the new blue tee. Our elevation difference is about 6 feet. I want to bring this tee box out towards the camera here, level it out, nice and level, and then roll up to that blue tee. So when I mow this, I can mow one pass down, turn around, back up, flatten out. Now obviously we can't tee off that roll in the tee box, but it'll look cool, and then it makes it a lot easier maintenance wise for mowing. There again, part of this project that you're going to see in this video is we got to stretch clear across to the woods on the other side of the fairway. So we're looking at about 110 yards to bring a 2-inch main over here to this area. No power here, so these irrigation heads will be controlled by a battery operated underground valve box. It's a pretty aggressive project, but it's just going to take some dirt work, some big stones we have for that little retaining wall, and I'd like to get this dirt in here sooner than later so I can kind of start compacting, and then here the next week or so we can actually get the seed down, get our water over here, and get this seed going so that come next spring this tee box should be in really good shape and ready for the taking. That's the plan. I've talked too much. Let's get to moving. Let's do something. What we're going to do here is bring them big stones. We'll kind of put one here, step it up. We need to get them stones up pretty high, probably at least too high. Basically right here I've got my transit set up. It's setting a solid level grade across all those stakes. So I've not marked those stakes yet. Now for you as a golfer to feel that being level, we're not going to make it dead nuts level. We can actually have slope. So we could have probably 4 inches of slope side to side, front to back. So we'd want to raise as we're gaining elevation towards that back tee. We could probably go up as much as 8 inches from the front of the tee to the back of the tee. Like I said, as a golfer, you would never ever notice that. We just wrapped up day 2. Not been working full days, just hit and miss. We've had golfers coming in and out. So far, probably about 5 hours in this project. Stacking the stones, it's looking good. Number 2 tee box, it's on its way, man. It's on its way. What'll most likely happen, it's gonna be a problem. Even though that side has been tracked in, you know, it's been built up a good bit. I tracked it in, you know, I done it in lifts. And then last night I watered the complete, pardon my French, piss out of it. So water actually helps that dry dirt settle and compact. So I'll probably water it down again tonight. I mean, I soaked it, I really soaked it, but that's probably gonna settle. So the end result is tee box. It should settle evenly though, so it's gonna, maybe a couple inches over time, just kind of settle down that far end. And the only thing I can really say about that is I can either build it up a little bit, which I might do, I doubt it. I'll probably just let it settle, and then I'll just top dress that area a little heavy, and it'll catch back up after a couple years. Well, I went ahead and scrounged that bottom tee off. I was moving the traco, and I thought, man, this would be a good time to go ahead and probably get the traco up and out of here. So basically, I took the good topsoil off the old tee, and I'll take the skid loader now and grade it all to get our sub base. And then that top 4 to 6 inches is gonna be all that new soil sand mix. And I'm just adding that sand to amend the soil just to give it, I guess, more porosity, so the roots can maybe get through the soil. The water can get through a little bit better, a little bit easier, and I can level it a lot better, because I'd really like this tee box. There's nothing worse than like the old tee box where it was subtle undulations, but enough that drove me crazy. This new tee box, I guarantee, is gonna be smooth. It's gonna be flat and smooth. It's gonna be nice. So there would be our subgrade. There again, we're gonna have 4 inches at least of our sand soil mix on top of that. These banks here, I'll throw some fescue down, it'll grow and it'll take off, because that is loose dirt. Those roots will get deep and it'll hold that bank. Maybe weed whacked once a year. Still got some work to do out in front of this wall. This last stone, I'm not liking it particularly well, but looking good. So I credit, that's my paintbrush. So actually I got 1 paintbrush and I've got 2 way up there in the corner. Now this soil we have here, it's pretty decent. It's stuff I've hauled in, not too terribly bad. I mean, if this was a lawn, I would probably rake it out and seed it. But since we're going for ultimate satisfaction, we're gonna haul in some good mix, and we still got, I mean, it's close to being level, but it's not very good. Looks like we got our golfers coming in for their evening round. Sprinklers still going strong. Sprinklers haven't stopped since June in the fairway. Yeah, boy. Looks like they're going up to number 4 to hit some balls. So this golf course, it's looking pretty decent. Definitely got some dry spots all around, but if you could see my fairway, I guess, compared to local courses and stuff, it's all due to that hose running for the last 3 months. You hear that? That's my water bill going up. So this is a Sunday evening. As you can tell, the course is still booked. We're middle of September right now, so I know this video is coming out closer to October, but golf course is hopping. I should say it's humping up through October, and that's when we're gonna shut things down. The leaves are starting to turn color earlier than normal just because it's been so dry here in Southern Ohio. It'll look pretty for a little bit. The leaves start falling, and then she gets pretty ugly, especially when that grass starts turning. All right, back in action the following evening. The problem is with this evening is I've only got about an hour to work. I just dug my trench real quick. I piecemealed my irrigation parts together. I think I had the heads, all my tees, fittings. I've got a scrap pile of pipe up on the hill. You don't see it here by the golf course because it's kind of hidden up on the hill. I've got a big old junk pile of pipe, so I was able to scrounge up, I think, everything I need to get the underground done, except for the battery operated valve. So I've got a valve box on site here, so I'll go ahead and put that in. I'll just have to plumb that in later. But obviously the goal right now is to get this irrigation planted so we can get our seed mix down, our root zone material, which is behind you. So there's our topsoil, and there's that masonry sand up top. So we'll probably do about 1 part mason sand to 3 parts soil. We'll probably put some soil down, put a layer of sand down. I've got a Harley rake here somewhere. We'll kind of chew it all up. And then it's gonna be a lot of kind of grading and raking. And then hopefully by a few days from now, I'll be able to hook that water up, which, like I said, we got to cross the fairway. Tonight we only got 2 golfers, but after tomorrow, it's like 4 golfers, 10 golfers, 6 golfers, 8 golfers up through October. So busy time. Probably too busy to do this, but seed, now's the time for the seed. So, and we're gonna go over the seed before we end this video about why I'm using bluegrass. So I want to tell you why I chose bluegrass instead of fescue or rye. And those are about your only 3 options for cool season for your lawn and stuff like that. So. All right, got my sprinkler heads up to grade. Like I said, this will be a taller piece of grass around this perimeter. Here's what I'm talking about. This, I still need to do some work here on this box. There'll be my 1 inch. I'd use some flex line here because I'm going down a steep. We got about an 8-foot drop. And then that's where I'm gonna have to tie on and go across the fairway to get my feed. So this wouldn't pass, probably in a residential lawn. You typically we'd want another row of sprinklers on the other side that would reach these, but I'm confident what I'm doing. I know there's some professional sprinkler guys out here watching. This is gonna be fine. This is gonna get water down. There's a whole science to irrigation, and for the most part that science is useful, but at Spud Run Golf we do with what we have. Come on. So I'm gonna get this back filled, probably use a mini hoe. I might use a skid loader, be a little quicker maybe, and then get that soil truck down here. All right, you hacks, as we're getting some of this good topsoil, let's talk about the seed. So out of Spud Run Golf, we got turf type tall fescue out here on the fairway. That's a great all-around seed. If you're doing a lawn, you want low maintenance, you want turf type tall fescue. On number 1 tee, Ryan Noor talked me in, well, from watching his channel, I fell in love with some ryegrass. So I tried ryegrass, and by God, it looks awesome in the spring and fall. But man, I couldn't keep it in good shape this summer when it got real hot. And I got irrigation on and everything. I just couldn't keep it. I didn't like it. So here we're going to do bluegrass. So bluegrass, you know, number 2 tee box, any par 3 tee box is going to take a beating from golfers hitting irons. So this bluegrass will actually self-heal a little bit better. And so I'm excited to get some bluegrass up here. And the bad thing with bluegrass, it obviously takes water. It takes longer to grow, to actually start from seed. And I'll probably have to get a little bit better fungicide program on number 2 tee box now. But that's no big deal. I'll have some chemicals mixed up. It's not that big of an area, so. I hope it's the right choice. Let me know what you think in the comments. Now we're going to get some sand on that thing. Get some sand on it, we'll mix it in. I could have used probably 1 more load of topsoil. We'll get this sand mixed in, see what it looks like. Man, we got low fuel lines coming on, everything. This is called a Harley rake. It is pulverizing, like it'll take out grass, and it's great for lawn renovations. So right now I'm just trying to mix the sand with that good topsoil. I'll go over it a bunch of times. I'm afraid it's gonna get too dark on me to get this job completely done tonight. I was hoping to get seed down, but that's never gonna happen tonight. I need some daylight to actually see my grades. I can't see it very good right now. Can you tell? That's just beautiful. Let's go forward on now. Do this little radius here. But I know you can't see it, just trust me, it's awesome. All right, guys, just got back here after work. First time I kind of seen this in the daylight since last night, like you guys saw. Not terribly bad, but I do have a probably a good 20 minutes of raking, which is not terrible at all, man. That machine, check this out. I mean, it pulverizes up really good. So we got a good, so you can see the sand and the soil mix. Just a nice loose soil for those roots to take hold. We've got some pretty good humps right over there, and that's like where everybody's gonna tee off. But the rest of it, man, looks pretty flat. I probably want to check it with the transit again. It's at this point on, it'll be eyeballing. So we could, you know, we could stretch these tees clear back here. So this transition piece too, I've got to keep something to tee box from for now. So that's going to stay the same, and that'll be maybe next spring once this one's good and playable. And then we'll address this and make that roll a little better and redo that top. Probably lower that about a foot, just so I can get a better transition here. Again, I got raking, seeding, I got to finish irrigation, I got to finish some water lines. While we're doing that water line across that fairway, we're going to get a tee off and go up to number 3 tee to get a sprinkler head up there. I think I've showed you enough. This thing's went on forever just getting to this point. So how about we stop the video here, because I've got a whole nother 10 or 15 minute video on wrapping this thing up. That'll give me more time to talk about the seed, you know, actually give me time to let it grow in too. So in the next video, I can actually show you planting it, and I'll have time to go ahead and show you progress after, you know, 3 days, 5 days, 10 days, probably up to 20 days. So we can see this thing grow in, and I think that'll be a good little video. Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for playing with us. We didn't play none today, did we? Spud Run Golf from the number 2 tee box. Over and out.
Make sure you like and subscribe. Oh, he's pumped up. He's pumped up.